I am back doing a normal type of stream this week, and I'm realizing I haven't updated the info for this week. But yeah, I'm going to show you how to do a hardware demo with the Synthstrom Deluge, with lots of cameras and CueCam presenter. And this is Edinburgh, on the way to the hospital. This is Squares TV App Lab number 56, and this is where I show you how to tie together your Mac, iPhone and iPad with all the apps I've been making and talking about via Squares TV, which is also where you get the Synthstrom Deluge stems uploader and MIDI editor. So I'm sort of bringing it all together this week. So those two apps were the first time I tried just releasing a Mac app. So they sort of felt like relatively simple apps, but I just wanted to see if I could release something. And then CueCam now is obviously like a much bigger app that's sort of released in the same way using similar technology. We'll start off with some updates. I do have the Johns waiting in the wings. Maybe some other people will join the Zoom as well, but we'll see. After hours is strange these days. But yeah, updates. I've been working last week. I did find a fair bit of time. So I fixed this Pocket 3 bug. So the weird thing with the Pocket 3 is, so it's this little camera. So it's a little camera with like a gimbal. And then it's got a screen like this, which starts off in, sort of like landscape mode. And then you kind of, you sort of rotate that round to be in, if you want a horizontal video, and you can plug that into your computer and it works as a webcam. But for some reason, like either way, it gives me a tall image, and then if it's in horizontal mode, the content is in there for some reason. So it feels like they're not using the full. That's not 1080p now. That's sort of like, I don't know, like whatever 1080 by whatever the next thing down is. So I just had to make sure I was sort of cropping out any video feeds that are the wrong size and shape. And then I had to make sure that worked for different kinds of cameras. But yeah, so I just bought a Pocket 3 from DJI, sort of took the minimum amount of packaging off it, fixed the bug, returned it. So that's gone back with the courier a couple of days ago. So hopefully we don't find any more bugs with it. I have brought the Sparkle pen, or the Magic Wand, back into Video Pencil, which I would demonstrate now, but I've just discovered. So one thing I wanted to do before I brought it back was not make you have to go through some kind of audio rigmarole to get the nice sparkle sound effects. So now if you use CueCam, it will just give you the sound from that Magic Wand without you having to do anything. We'll plug it in, or like turn on iPad as an audio interface, or any of that stuff. So I won't demo it because I just found a bug with it. So there will be a fix to that coming out. Well, it's not a bug on the iPad, but it's a bug on CueCam. When it plays the sound, it goes into some crazy feedback loop, and I have to restart the app. So fun. And then the other thing, I was working on the content for today. I was like, do you know what would be really cool? Like recording stuff. What I could do is, when I record a video with CueCam, why don't I just put a little text file there as well with the timestamps of your titles in the format that YouTube uses to put chapter markers in. So I just did it. And then I thought, well, could be quite cool is to send up the script and ask ChatGPT to summarize it and give me a title that could be used for a YouTube description. So I just did it. So you have to opt into the ChatGPT thing, because I don't want to be firing up all your scripts into the cloud when you're sort of just whenever you're like recording something. So you do have to opt in, because there are privacy issues with that. But if you go into settings now, turn that on, and then whenever you record something, you're going to see a little text file that you can copy out the chapter markers. The other thing I've been working on is how I'm tracking issues, because I've got quite a lot of things coming in, a lot of feature requests, but also some bugs as well. And I was trying to do that through GitHub, but I kind of wanted a nice. There wasn't an easy way for me to look at my progress and what was active, and it was just a bit awkward. I use Coda for my weekly reporting, and a couple of months ago I did sort of start like bringing in the GitHub issues and bringing in the Discord things, messages. And then I sort of let the trials on those plugins expire. And then I was looking at it last week and I went, well, okay, this Discord one's $3 a month. I could build my own, but I'll just use this. I don't want to pay for the 10, 15 or whatever it is for the GitHub integration, which all I want to do is read. So I'm just going to do it all on Discord. So now all of the feature requests and bug tracking is just going to be in Discord, basically. I mean, I'm not going to put every little bug on Discord, but like if you find stuff, open up a thread. I'll just show you how to do that quickly as well. So if you want to add a bug on Discord, there are these, or a suggestion, there are these channels. So you've got CueCam Presenter here, you've got Video Pencil, you've got Shoot Pro Webcam, and then under here we've got suggestions. So all the Video Pencil suggestions. If we click into one of these, we see, we see if there's been a conversation about it, see if it's been liked by multiple people. And then this is what I use for, then I can sort of like just bring that straight in. I can look at it in this format and just send an email to myself every week, and I can track when I change it. I can like star the ones that I'm going to be working on for sure. So yeah, that's yeah. And so all you have to do is if it's a problem, find the issues channel. So if it's a shoot issue or if it's a CueCam issue, just go into CueCam issues, hit this little plus button down here, and you're going to be able to make a thread. Give it a title that is going to make sense to me without reading the contents of the thread, because that's what's going to come into that document. Yeah, and then I'll get a notification, I'll see it. I may refer you to another, if someone else has already done it, I'll just kind of like fold it up into another thread. But yeah, and I thought I might just go over some of the stuff because I got a bit carried away with some thoughts over the weekend, I guess, just like sitting around. So some things I'm thinking about with CueCam include the more familiar style of video editor, so making it feel a little bit more like Keynote or PowerPoint, which is something work in progress. I thought now that I think about it, I think it's going to be simpler than I originally thought. So I'm gonna get back to that. 4K vertical video support. I was thinking, 1080p is great for live streaming and more than enough for meetings, but for screen recording tutorials, 4K would produce nicer results. And I record vertical videos for TikTok or Reels or whatever using CueCam. So when I sort of like make that more flexible, then yeah, that's something I want to get to at some point. Another one is I would quite like to be able to see the chat in the teleprompter. In fact, case in point, I don't know if anyone's on the YouTube right now. I see some viewers, but I'm sort of like, yeah, like my chat window. I need to keep an eye on it in case anyone says anything. But it'd be quite nice to just bring that up into the chat the teleprompter. Also, like similarly, I've had some ideas about how to do browser overlays. So like any live streamer will, you generally like have all of these web-based things with like notifications, alerts, like someone donated, like games, all these different kinds of things that can be brought into a live stream. And I've sort of shied away from putting a browser engine inside CueCam because I think it just makes everything really heavy straight away. And I've been trying to think how I could efficiently do that, and I did like without having to like embed Chromium or embed like WebKit, but I had quite a good idea of how I could do that efficiently. And then that would mean a transparent overlay could be brought from the web, and it really unlocks a lot of power for live streams and things like that, without you having to kind of do that in another. And I'd probably have a think about how I'd want to approach it, because we start to get into OBS, style layers and scenes, which I don't want CueCam to be that. So we'll have a think about how that would work. It may be, okay, this is the template for this show. Let's do it this way. I'm also thinking about like pricing ideas, like rent to own could be interesting. We've been having a bit of a discussion there. And lifetime pricing I don't have in CueCam yet because it sort of started out as subscription. And then yeah, John's put in something for standard webcam controls. I need to look into that. And then we're sort of getting a cough button is what I was just thinking today. Just if I could just like mute from somewhere. And this came from Jeff originally. So yeah, just I'm sort of tracking things in there. And of course, something I was fiddling with. I've got video pencil. You see, like in Discord, these kind of start to disappear after a while. So it was quite hard to see them, but there's been quite a few things in here, and some of them are really good ideas. And now I'm sort of surfacing those. And I did actually start working on like the ability to drop like symbols in, so like little markers in as well. And I think I've got quite a good UI for that. But it's just it's going to take a bit of time. And like, this is really a question of priorities. So if you want to, if you see some stuff in here that you think is interesting, that you'd like to see sooner, just on this version, on this view, you can put reactions on. So just like add a reaction to the thread here, and then I'll start to get a count, like a tally of how many people want it, and that will help me kind of prioritize features as well. So, and of course, like if you're seeing a bug as well. So you see, like we've got a like on this one from Tom controls, and I will see that in my summary, and that will be emailed to me, and I'll hopefully make some progress. You may, I'm always, I come up with a new workflow, it works for a while, it maybe goes a bit stale. We'll see how long this one lasts, but I'm feeling good about it for now. But yeah, let's get on to today's thing. That's 10 minutes preamble. I'm going to talk about gear tutorials and how you can do those with CueCam Presenter, which means I am at the mercy of, I've been trying to think how I'm going to run this demo. Do I run it on a separate Mac? But then I have all these audio things. I want you to be able to hear the sound from the hardware. So then how would I get the sound from the other Mac? And I'm quite limited in my gear at the moment because it's all in storage, because we're in like renting, because we thought we were going to be buying a new place in Scotland, but it's all in that's on hold. So I'm sort of like, I'm using minimal gear at the moment, which is making things a bit more complicated than they need to be. But that's okay. So I'll jump in with a how to do stuff on the Deluge. So jumping over onto this project. So what is Deluge? The Synthstrom Deluge is a sampling synth groove box that you can sequence and play live without a computer. It's powerful, but it can be quite mystifying. It's very easy to forget how to do stuff, so you often find yourself going to YouTube tutorials. So I thought we could pay that forward by making our own tutorial using CueCam. CueCam, if you're coming here from the Deluge side, is a Mac app that makes it easy to record demos on your Mac without having to set up complicated streaming software or do any editing. So yeah, this is editless video production, because basically I used to spend hours and hours and hours making videos for the smallest thing, like but now I do everything more or less live. CueCam supports this workflow and gives you some powerful tools to get the most out of it. Don't you just love it when I start reading from my teleprompter? So, this doesn't have to be this one bit of gear. I'm sure you can imagine using this workflow for all sorts of gear demos, like camera stuff and different audio gear and different things. But I think this is a fun example because it has that sound element to it, which, a camera doesn't in the same way. So let's have a look. If you want to follow along, you can go to cuecam-presenter.com and download it for free, and you can get started without paying anything or handing over your email address even. Like it's only once you sign in that kind of starts getting connected, but you can just download the binary and run it and see. You only get 3 cards, but you get an idea of what you can do with it and how it can be used, and it's actually pretty good for, like, if you just want to drive it yourself, like you can do an awful lot with it with the free version. So that's on cuecam-presenter.com. So this is a CueCam script, right? So you have these cue cards. So this is a cue card, so you know what to say. So you start with, so if we're doing a video, we're going to sort of make a few cue cards. So we're going to sort of decide what our script looks like. It's going to be a sequence of cue cards. And I've actually got a little intro that I was going to put in. Let's see how that feels when I add it in. So I'm saying this is so we'd go to camera, we'd be like, this is a Deluge data blast. I'm going to show you how to do a few basic things. Skip ahead to whatever you need using the chapter markers, and we'll get on to how that works later. So So I'm going to bring in this website. I thought I'd keep this tutorial simple. There's this nice website someone in the community did where they've just sort of made a little app with the keyboard shortcuts for the Deluge. So I thought we could like base some content on that. So let's say okay, let's have a card which is view zoom level, and you just have to press this encoder. Let's put that in there. I'm going to use my keyboard shortcut, Command-Shift-T, to just turn that into a title. And we're going to see, like in the preview down here, you can see there's a little title appeared there. And you can see we've got our little teleprompter notes here. And so we can just do a couple, let's say, like change zoom level. Yes, and you could also do that here. So we'll put the title here, change zoom level, and then the notes for your teleprompter. You can copy that, put that in there. Let's do one more, scroll horizontal. It's like the most basic thing you could possibly want to do on this device, but I usually make the mistake of overcomplicating what I want to achieve with my demos, and I think let's just do the very, very, very basics for the actual tutorial, and maybe this thing will go without any hiccups. So to scroll horizontally, we have to turn the X encoder. I did see that I had some messages on YouTube and I have not got to them. But now that we've got these notes, we can let's just minimize that for now so that we've got all that stuff together. So now we're going to set up our camera, but first I'm going to explain how cameras work in CueCam. So this is CueCam's dashboard. Do you see what I did there, by the way? Familiar users will see that just automatically zoomed in on the right bit of the screen. That's a new thing. So this is sort of like an overview of what CueCam can do in a way. So this big play button is your sort of script navigation. So when we've got our cue cards, but here we've got main camera. You can just say what your main camera is. And that's me here. I am now on the main camera. And then the thing I'm sharing is the share, and that can be a camera, that can be a display, that can be a device or an app or a window, or we can put an image or a video up in there and just share something. And what you're seeing here is, that's the share. And then when something is being shared, you have this option to have like a picture-in-picture down in the corner. And I can just like click on that and I'll disappear from picture-in-picture. I can also do this aside 3D thing and like bring that back. I obviously do it with a Stream Deck instead usually, but this is the dashboard. So the concept is pick your main camera, and then if you're doing something like a gear tutorial, you'll probably want to be picture in picture. So you'll probably want to do your share as a second camera. So you select that on the card as a second camera. So I wouldn't, in terms of what camera to use, I wouldn't recommend using a big camera. So I always thought like, oh, I've got to use my big fancy DSLR to do my overhead shots for the crispest possible thing. But it is an absolute pain. I had to buy a C stand. So you get this thing, it's got legs like this. Let's go for white. It's got like these big legs on the floor, and then it's this thing, and it's this chunky thing, and you're putting this really heavy camera above things, and then you've got your gear down here. And you're sort of trying to, this is just like heavy. And then when you want to kind of preview what this camera is seeing, it's up there. So like you can't really, you're sort of like reaching up to the controls, and it's like when you have a nice lens on it and it does have, shallow depth of field or whatever, then that's actually not that great. So actually an iPhone camera is probably a much better bet for getting a nice crisp, even image. So what I'm going to do is add, I've got this iPhone XR, which I'm going to use as the second camera for this document. So the way we do that is we go to our window, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go share. So this is how we add stuff. So you see it's already got the title, but if we click here, we can go share a camera, and we can select as the second camera, shoot on my iPhone XR. And why don't I just quickly show you what that looks like? So I'm just going to do sort of a real-time share to that iPhone XR. Hopefully this is okay. So yeah, so this is what that looks like. This is my desk. And what we can do here, the trouble is there's quite a lot of shadows from all of the equipment between my light and the Deluge. But this is the Deluge on my desk right now. And I am gonna, let me see what comes up if I go into demo mode. So now in demo mode, yeah, so here it is. And if I click up in here, in this card here, let's just get rid of that menu. So you see here, now we've got all the controls for this. So I can like crop in. I can, what I like to do is actually like lock focus by pressing and holding on the screen and using the EV to sort of adjust the gain. So maybe we want to, thing is with something like this, you actually want to light this quite brightly so that the lights don't kind of become overpowering. So my lighting situation isn't ideal here. But yeah, the answer to like a well-lit gear tutorial, let's just move this up and then we can sort of push this. Let's try and get it nice and centered. I might just zoom it out a bit. It's just going to get the front of my laptop a bit, which isn't quite what I want. I could maybe I'll just risk pulling this out a little bit, or just angling it so that we get a frame. So it's always nice. And you see, I'm still picture in picture here, but you see, we've got full control without having to go up there. We can just sort of get the image for ourselves. So the next thing we need to do is sort out the audio. So I will show you how to do that. Let me just make, I think my script is going to, yeah, so we're in demo mode. So I'm going to show you how to do the audio. So you get this camera preview inside CueCam, which down here has audio controls. So the way I'm going to bring audio in is with this little button down here. I thought I had a page for this. Let's make sure. I thought I had a zoom. I'll try and show you here, but I thought I decided I was going to do this as a screen share. So let me just screen share instead. And we don't need to be in demo mode. So what I'm going to do here is actually I'm just going to zoom up so that we're not kind of getting a bit too much crazy picture in picture. So this is how we add audio. So there's a button here, which is a little microphone plus button. So I'm going to add in the audio interface that has the Deluge plugged into it. So let's see if we're hearing anything. Let's oh, there's something coming through, but it's weird. Oh, is the cable bad? You see, this is this is where we end up with a lot of fun on like trying to get stuff to a like. Why is this? Is the ATEM being weird? Let's just. It's on fade to black. All right. I don't know what's happening. Because this was fine before. Shall we try turning? So this is okay. Let's do a bit of live troubleshooting. So this is making sound okay. So it must be something to do with the ATEM. So let's grab ATEM software control and just check that nothing weird is going on there. So I'm seeing that that's coming in. Yeah, that looks all right to me. So it must be a CueCam thing. Let's try just removing that and putting it back. And if in doubt, unmute me, mute this. Just as a question, like, what are you hearing this okay? Can you tell me? I'm gonna just see if this is a CueCam thing, because it could be. Pause. Let's have a look. See if what happens now if we add this. But yeah, something's going on with. I think it must be my cable then. So it wasn't CueCam, thankfully. But why are we not getting good audio from this thing? I tried this earlier and it was fine. It sounds like it's... I bet it's this. Mic mode, voice isolation. Guys. Right. Okay. Apple. Right, let me find where I was in the tutorial. Why would that have changed? I know what it is. I know what it is. I'll tell you what the problem was. But first I will get back into my script. Okay, audio, delay calculator, zooming in up here. So as we can see now, we are getting, let's just like load this again and go. Okay, so now you're hearing some audio. So if we go over to the next thing, I'm going to show you how to make sure everything's in sync. So if we come to the shoot now, and I kind of come into a nice like a drum kit kind of thing on here, let's say. I don't know which of these is a drum kit, but right. So you see sorry. Right, so you see that's not really in sync. But what we can do, I'll put this in demo mode so you can see what I'm doing. But I'll try and put it in demo mode so that you can see the right window. Right, so what we've got, that's the wrong window again, but we'll do it here. I will go over to here, and we've got this calculate button here. I'll tell you why I'm confused right now. It's because my HUD is not in my teleprompter, and I am not getting my preview. Okay, so we get this little calculate delay. So what I'm going to do is, so usually when you do a delay calculator, it says clap and keep your hands together, and that gives you what you want. But what we're going to do this time is go, right, so we want to sync up the overhead camera with the audio coming from the Blackmagic design channel. So that's what we're going to sync up here. So if I go calculate, it's going to say get ready. Right, and now I'm going to have this. Are we seeing this? Are you seeing this? I'm not sure if you're seeing this. But so now I get a little delay calculator thing. So I can click where the, if I come to desktop, maybe you should be able to see this. Yeah, you should be able to see this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can see it. But we click the waveform. That's when the sound came, and then we move forward. And what we can see up here is, when did my finger land down? And I think that happened here. So if we save that delay, now we should be perfectly in sync. Now, the only issue with that is I don't have direct monitoring. I'm hearing it via the delay, which makes it very hard to be musical. But yeah, we've got sound, and we've got the image, and we've got an overhead, and we've got picture in picture. And what did we do? Apart from like, troubleshoot a bit, all we did was grabbed an iPhone, put it on a stand, fired up CueCam Presenter, created a little script, said, okay, I'm going to share my phone overhead on these cards, put some notes into the script, plug in the device so that we get sound, sync it up using the built-in delay calculator, which, try doing that with a number of videos I've released with bad, like, out of sync sound, but and it's just really important for audio, for music stuff. So the next step is we can just do a run through. to get the recording. But what I'll just do is I'll just show you a quick thing. So actually we want all of these to be the overhead camera. So what we'll do is I'll just multi-select those and I'll hit this little inspector button. And now I'm just going to go second camera is going to be shoot. But while I'm here, I'm also going to like select all of these and make sure that we're in demo mode. Did I just undo that when I was trying to select all? I think I did. I'm using the wrong keyboard as well because it's, yeah, so let's just say second camera is going to be shoot. So let's, and I've set it into demo mode, which is the thing, it's this thing, so that you can see what's happening while I run through it instead of just the output. So what we do here is we're going to just go start. You see this little thing, this is like, when are you going to start? This is what makes the countdown timer when we start a session. Maybe we'll zoom in, it doesn't matter because I'm about to press start. So I'm going to hit start. So it's going to be, I'm going to read from my teleprompter and I'm just going to say, this is a Deluge Data Blast. I'm going to show you how to do a few basic things. Skip ahead to whatever you need using the chapter markers. I'm going to press next. And now here we're going to be. It's going to say, okay, the first thing we're going to learn is how to view the zoom level. And I'm just going to push this up so that the text isn't colliding. Good thing about all this is it's so quick to just do a take. And then you just end and then you just like do another take. So I'm going to come back in. Zoom level. Okay, how do we do zoom level? I'm looking at my teleprompter. Just going to press the left encoder, which needs to be on not keyboard mode. Left encoder tells me 30-second. Okay, cool. So that's how you do that. Just press the left encoder up, left thing up here. Okay, next thing. How do we change the zoom level? You hold this in and you rotate it at the same time, and now we're zoomed in. Then the next thing you want to learn how to do is scroll horizontally, take this, well, we need to be zoomed in a bit, and then you can just scroll horizontally like that. And this is how you enter notes in, you can zoom out. So that is my tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. So I'm actually going to do that again because I've just noticed that it was in demo mode on the wrong window. So just to show you that one more time. But this time I'll show you with a recording. So here's our script. You see we've got our three things. If I can show you like here as well, and we can see what the teleprompter looks like up here. So let's just do that again. So we go start. Here we go. Okay, this is a Deluge Data Blast. I'm going to show you how to do a few basic things, like and subscribe, hand slap. Yeah, skip ahead to do whatever you want to do using the chapter markers. Next, you see like the card came up here, the teleprompter updated here. And like it showed the overhead camera and it's like got the sound connected. Okay, view zoom level, we've got a little title down here. And you know, if we want, we can be drawing on this as well and say, okay, this is the most important encoder of your day. Use this one. And okay, so you just press that. That's going to tell you how you're zoomed in. Next, change the zoom level, press it in, do that. Like just rotate it while it's pressed in. You're going to be changing the thing. Next, to scroll, just rotate that while you're zoomed in. So you press it once to see how far you're zoomed in, rotate it while you're zoomed in to do that, and then you can scroll using that encoder. Thanks everyone, like and subscribe, etc. So, and then I'm going to hit end, and that's going to end the script, and we'll come out of demo mode. So, we can also make a recording. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to like quickly turn off demo mode on all of these things. So we can actually do that directly here, or we can multi-select on the thing. So I'm just going to come out of demo mode and we'll just do a straight up one. And then I'll show you some really cool stuff that this does. So I can either just hit record up here, or what I'm actually going to do is create a record trigger. So I'm going to go triggers, start recording. So now you see that's going to start recording when we press play. And then on this blank one at the end, well, let's just put a call to it, you know, like and subscribe, you know, let's put like squares.tv at the bottom or something, squares.tv. We can put a little title down the bottom, like and subscribe. And then once after that, I'll just add one more card and that will be to end recording. So I'll just do finish recording there. And then all I've got to think about is press start, right? So I'm just going to press start here. Hi guys, this is a Deluge Data Blast. I'm going to show you how to do a few basic things. Just skip ahead to where you need using the chapter markers. Press next. First up, zoom level. What do you do? How do you find out the zoom level of your Deluge? So there's a long history of zooming in on things. One of the great things about being able to zoom in on the Deluge is you can put micro rhythms and little notes in, and you can get closer in, and which is really different to a more classic style of sequencer. So you see, we can start embellishing this. But yeah, to find out the current zoom level, just press this, and you see that 64th notes are zoomed in. Next, how do you change the zoom level? Well, you press down the encoder, and now rotating that is going to zoom in and out. And that's going to help you. But then, you know, we're kind of ending up at the start here, like we're at the start all the time. But how do we sort of move around that? Well, to scroll horizontally, just simply rotate that now without pushing it in. So we can zoom out, push it in, you know, zoom in, come along. And, you know, we're sort of navigating around these patterns and building things together. It would probably be fun if I actually let you. This is a really bad pattern, so. I wonder if there's anything good in this project. Fly. Yeah. All right, so yeah, thanks for watching. I'm Michael Forrest. Come to squares.tv, like and subscribe, all that kind of thing. I'm going to hit it one last time. It's going to finish the recording. So now, if I come back to my desktop, that's not my desktop. If I come back to my desktop, well, let's do this. We can see up here, and let's just get rid of the camera to get rid of the feedback. So you see up here, we've got now it recorded and we can show the file. So I'm going to click to show the file, and that's going to bring up a Finder window with all of my millions of CueCam recorder windows, recordings. And what we're going to see here is, well, here's the video file. Guys, this is a Deluge data blast. I'm going to show you how to do a few basic things. Just skip ahead to where you need using the chapter markers. What's next? First up, right? So that's works, but look what you also get. A little text file. What's in here? It's the timestamps for when I did each thing in the video. So each time I press that next button, it just like put the timestamp in of where we were. So you can just paste that into your YouTube video subscription, and now you get the chapter markers. What else? What's this? Mastering Deluge Data Blast, tips and tricks for beginners. In this video, I'll be showing you how to use the Deluge Data Blast to its full potential. So yeah, this is an AI generated summary of the contents of that script. Obviously, it's going to work better with a longer script, but you know, and it's kind of weird, but like we'll probably tweak it. But you've got something you can start with if you just want to think about, if you just want to be reminded like of what you want to put in the description. You've now got this just in a text file. So anytime you record, you've got that ready. And remember, like it's the easiest thing in the world to just go back and do another take. And then you just get the best one, and you don't have to edit. You don't have to do any editing anymore. You just like be there, be in the moment, be like relatable. And now you're not having to stitch together disparate footage, different things. Oh, I didn't record this thing. You can just put it into your script, do another clean take. You're done. Just upload it. No editing. So I absolutely love this workflow, and I hope that got across the idea of how easy it is to do. And like with these things, there's always gremlins, and I'll tell you what happened with the audio there. Earlier when I was testing, I was building it from Xcode, which then Apple recognizes. It stores my like voice isolation settings for my microphone on Mac OS, which is that little thing up at the top. You know, this thing up here. Sorry, we're going to the, how do I get my desktop? I think I changed the default share to the, yeah, let's go to here. So you see up here, this thing, it thinks that it's Xcode when I run it through Xcode, which is how you write the software. And so then it had different preferences for mic mode here. So it had voice isolation set, which is not what you want for music. Obviously, like I'm on Zoom at the moment as well. So I have original sound for musicians, which just lets you like actually hear what you want to hear. So that's all that happened there. Like you just watch out for the voice isolation stuff, because whatever comes into CueCam is going to get hit by whatever Apple is doing there. So that is some Deluge stuff. But before we go on, let me just see what Cyprian, hi, welcome. And on the subject of you being here, happy to be here. Listen, I want to do more Zoom streams. I really enjoyed having the Johns on last couple of weeks, and we figured out how, there was some gremlins in those recordings because we didn't quite understand when it went live. But I think now we've got the hang of it, and I'm all set up with the right kind of Zoom account, thanks to those guys, that actually allows me to stream and do all that kind of stuff. So I want to do more of these Zoom streams, and I'm opening up this stream to guest presenters, as I mentioned last week. And I just want you to talk about anything that you're interested in. So you can like pitch a product that you're part of, or like you can talk about your favorite hobby. You can I don't know, rant about something. All I want to hear, I mean, obviously within reason, but all I want to hear is something you're interested in. It can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes, it can be 20 minutes. I don't want you to put loads and loads of time into it, but I think, we have a nice little community here. We've got a few people that watch the videos, and that's only going to grow. So if you want to be one of the first people on here doing one of these demos on the stream, and then we can have a bit of back and forth, and it's a bit less me broadcasting. The only stipulation is that you use CueCam, because I think it's going to be such a great way to get some really high quality talks really easily. I mean, that's kind of what I built this for, this kind of thing. I see that Lorenzo is happy with the timestamp thing. I've been waiting to do that for ages, and I didn't know how I was going to do it. And I was like, just make a text file. It doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. And then they're all just stored. It's with the recording. Yeah. Anyway, so all you got to do, if you're interested in coming on, just drop me an email. Or come find me on Discord. It's michael@squares.tv, and I've got a little form that I'm sending out to people just to sort of help you clarify the things, and maybe like send me a picture and send me like a title if you can think of one, so that I can make a thumbnail, and just sort of reduces a bit of the overhead of that. So I'd really love to hear some presentations. I've got a couple of people that are interested already. So if you want to be one of the first people demoing on this stream, and we may like evolve the format of this stream soon as well. And in response to that. So that's the call out. Just get in touch, and I would love to hear from you. So finally, here we are. Here's where we hang out, and here's where you can get help when I'm asleep, which is less and less now that I have a baby. But yeah, if you want to get involved, just come into Discord. You can put bugs, issues, feature requests. If you want to email me, I always reply to everything. I try and be helpful. I think I'm seeing some I'm seeing reviews that people seem to be happy with how responsive I am on everything. This is my full thing, so I'm just like, good karma. I'm just trying to put good karma out there. So I'll do whatever I can to help you, and I won't like gaslight you into thinking that you did something wrong, which is the normal way tech support works. So to play us out, here is an insane tech demo I did a few years ago. This is Eurorack synth sending control messages via a custom-made Arduino module with a Bluetooth connection connected to an iPhone app. Shall I draw this? So I've got this drum machine that lets like kick, hi-hat, like snare. Wait, sorry. Let's do that using live titles. So it's like kick, hi-hat, and then that's like snare. And it's like the frequency as you turn these knobs is how much hi-hat there is. And then what these Eurorack modules have is the ability to sort of have outputs from them. So I sort of split the output between the thing that plays the kick drum, so that's another module that's a kick drum, and that, but also to a module that I made called Visuals, which has a few little inputs which then get turned over the air into triggers. It sort of sends those over the air to an iPhone running an app I wrote. Which, I mean, there's another it also sends it to my computer, which has like a video thing. Like this has like a browser-based rendering engine, which is what this little dancing character is built in. So anytime a drum kit goes, it goes into this module, it gets sent over Bluetooth to my phone, it gets sent over OSC over the network onto my computer, and it makes the little characters snare drum or bass drum or hi-hat hit. So what you see here is me twiddling knobs in real time and the animation reacting in real time. So, you know, it's a tech demo, but it's kind of sounds fun as well. Thank you so much for joining, Dan. Priceless. And I'll see you next time. And I hope you found that demo useful and you're inspired to make a tech demo.